I used to think cutting expenses meant giving up the things I loved. Every month, I watched my paycheck disappear into bills, coffee runs, takeout dinners, and impulse buys that made me feel good for 5 minutes and guilty for the rest of the day. I had a decent income, but somehow, it never felt like enough. One evening, staring at a pile of unopened credit card statements, I realized I was trapped in a cycle where spending felt like survival. But it was really just distraction. I wanted to change, but I didn't want to feel deprived. I wanted freedom, not sacrifice. The first step wasn't cutting everything. It was noticing where my money was going without judgment. I started tracking every dollar I spent, not to shame myself, but to understand my habits. I noticed patterns. Small, consistent spending on things that didn't add real value to my life. That $5 coffee every morning? That was more than $100 a month. Those late-night online splurges? Hundreds vanishing before I even realized. The revelation wasn't shocking, but it was liberating. Once you see your money clearly, you can decide where it really belongs. I learned a simple truth. Reducing expenses isn't about giving up joy. It's about choosing it wisely. I began swapping convenience for creativity. Cooking at home became a small adventure instead of a chore. Instead of buying expensive gadgets, I learned to repair the ones I had or borrow from friends. I discovered that sharing experiences with others, potlucks, hikes, movie nights at home, brought far more satisfaction than owning another item that would sit on a shelf. My life didn't shrink. It expanded in ways I hadn't expected. Over time, my financial discipline became a quiet superpower. I found ways to lower bills without pain, negotiating my subscriptions, cutting hidden fees, and focusing on value instead of price. The savings weren't dramatic at first, but they compounded. Slowly, I paid off debts that had weighed me down for years, and I started building an emergency fund that gave me real peace of mind. I could finally say yes to opportunities, not out of fear of running out of money, but from a place of freedom. The most surprising part? I never felt deprived. In fact, I felt richer. I had more control, more confidence, and more time to focus on the things that mattered. Learning new skills, traveling on a budget, and connecting with friends and family without guilt. Every dollar I saved became a tool for designing the life I wanted. Cutting expenses wasn't a punishment. It was the key to living intentionally. It was about turning money into experiences, joy, and freedom, not just numbers in a bank account. If you want to reduce expenses without feeling deprived, start by seeing clearly, choosing consciously, and valuing experiences over things. Every decision is a small step toward a life where your money serves you, not the other way around. And once you start, you'll realize that the real wealth isn't in what you cut, it's in what you gain.